Hello, fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the Asiahorse or Shenzhen Asiahorse Industrial Company Limited. They have given me another of their Cosmiq fans, which is, great. This one is a regular direction instead of reversed, like the one that I did, 2-3 weeks ago? And it's a $19 fan. So let's go ahead and take a look at the box first, because, boxes are important for those of you who are shopping at a store. You want to know what to look for. And then we have the included radiator and fan bolts. Here we go with the product. Looks the same as the other one, but if you're paying close attention, you'll see that the impeller, which is this thing here, is pointing the other direction. Sorry about that. So I want to show you that when you are going to connect this cable, which is both ARGB and PWM, and it's daisy chainable, it's the first time you do it, it's a little bit it made me nervous because I didn't know how delicate it was. Like, with the original Leon Lees that would interlock, sometimes a pin would get damaged and it would be stuck down. And so what you want to do is, number one, obviously you want to get the tab into the slot. If you are an adult, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you can see that the pins are mostly already covered. But also, if you look very closely on either side, really, there are indicators of lock and unlock. And on this side, they're placed differently than the other side. So you can see from both sides what it should look like when it's locked. Now, once you've got it in place, oops, don't let your finger slip off. You're going to push with your thumb or fingers or whatever until it's all the way over. Now, you'll hear a click, a definite click the first time. After doing it one time, that click will be much more subtle. And now you can see that the indicator is pointing at the lock on this side, and we can see the same thing on this side. So don't be afraid to push it all the way over, because if you don't, it won't work. I discovered that the hard way. Just an admission, not with this one, but with the previous one, I was a little bit nervous, and so I thought I had pushed it all the way. I thought I heard a click and everything, and I probably did, but it didn't move all the way over, and I couldn't see the icons that are inscribed in the frame. My eyesight's not that great anymore, and so I was convinced that the fan was defective. So I wrote to Asiahorse, and the guy very patiently explained to me, hey, try this. And I said, that's what I did. It didn't work. And so he was getting ready to send me a replacement fan. And I was like, before he sends me that, I want to make sure that I'm not getting a fan that I don't deserve. So I tried again, and I actually I remembered what he said about the icons, or the indicators, whatever you want to call them, and I pushed harder, and I was like, oh, duh. So I let him know that you don't have to send me a fan. It worked this time. Yeah. No matter how long you've been doing tech, no matter what your specialty is, you will make mistakes, and you have to own up to it. So that's one of the things I like about Roman Derbauer, because he's willing to make a public admission of making mistakes. I respect that. All right, so now that you've got that on there, or I've got it on here, there are two infinity mirrors as well as the one in the middle. Not very easy to see right now, but we will be looking at that soon. And if I Let me see if I can grab my reverse one and I'll interlock these for you. And in case you're doubtful about what I was explaining about how to connect the cable, there is also a little instruction booklet. Really, it's just a little thing that'll show you how to do it in case you, and also how to interlock them. But I find that an actual real-time instruction is easier than looking at a piece of paper. So you're going to match up the tabs again. This time we've got 4, so this is, a very adult thing, okay? And you're going to slide the slots. You're going to slide the holes into the slots. 4 of them at the same time, okay? Don't just do like this or something. Get all of them in, all the way in, nice and deep. And then you're going to push. And now you can see that they are lined up, right? And that means that they will both now work. Now, you can also see that this is a regular one because the blades are facing, are blowing that way. You can see this is the convex side. And you can see this is the reverse one because you can see the concave side. Remember, concave is like a cave. So you're seeing the cave side, and when you don't see the cave side, you're seeing the convex side. I know it's vexing to remember that, but try. And one of the things that's kind of irksome about this is that on the fan itself, there is no indication of which one is which. And not only that, but there's no indicators to show you direction of flow or rotation. So you have to look at concave and convex and also the direction of rotation because that impacts which way the air is going to flow as well. So there's those two factors. Now, the other thing is that on the boxes, you have to look at the sticker that they add on and see if there's an RE on there or not. Like this one is the regular one, and if you look closely at the sticker, if it's possible for you to do that, you can see it says Cosmiq White 1-pack. I wish I had a 3-pack or at least the controller, but I don't. Okay, and then the other one, if you look carefully, you can see that this one says Cosmiq RE White 1-pack US. Sorry, my hand is. When you get old, your muscles are not as good as they used to be. So you'll have to forgive me for being an old man. All right, I'm gonna get this plugged in, and we'll take a look at the lighting. I almost forgot one other thing. Before you connect them together, make sure that you remove this sticker. Otherwise, it's not going to connect. And there you have it. That's what it looks like. And for some reason, they're not in sync. I'm kind of confused about that. You would think that it would be in sync, but maybe it's deliberate so you see more of the rainbow at one time. I guess. Yeah, that seems to be what's going on now. You can always change it to a different mode in order to get it to be the way you want it, obviously, because it's ARGB. All right, so now we're going to see what it looks like when the fans are moving. Looks pretty good, right? All right, I'm going to get rid of the extra one now so we can listen to the fans or fan. All right, are you ready to rotate? I'm ready, except for the fact that I forgot to undo this twist tie. All right, so here we go. We're going to start on low, which should be around 25%, but we'll see. Nope. It's just about 25%. to turn off my filter. I already heard a harmonic resonance. And again. And again. 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 Okay, that's maximum. All right, let me put this back. This one is particularly loud as far as it's like it may be an harmonic resonance, but it may not be, but there's a tone. And it's constant at maximum speed right now. I don't know if this is because it hasn't warmed up enough. But anyways, static pressure is almost 1 millimeter of water per for the fan. So that's good enough for a case and for lesser air coolers. However, if you have a really built up air cooler, you'll want to have a better fan. If you have a water cooler, you'll want to have a better fan as well. This is definitely not suitable for a radiator. All right, now it's time to look at the the specifications. Okay, so the Shenzhen Asiahorse Industrial Company Limited, and this is the Cosmiq PC case fan 120 millimeter ARGB, and we have it going for about $19, which I think is kind of high. Yes, it's got LEDs, but it is not particularly performant, so I don't feel it deserves that price. Compliant with CE and FCC, made in China, 120 by 25 millimeters, 105 millimeters between the mounting holes. Yes, I rearranged the specifications some. 7 blades, 190 grams, and a 1-year warranty. It has an unknown number of LEDs because, like with a lot of other companies, they didn't share with us that information. But it is ARGB, and they didn't specify what ARGBs it will be compatible with, but we can see from having used it on my computer that it's compatible with ASUS's Aura system. And then the RPM range is 800 to 2000. Sorry. I'm making noise, plus or minus 10%. The CFMs are very average at 68.5. And the static pressure is supposed to be 2.05. 29.2 maximum decibels. 49.5 centimeter cable for the fan with daisy chaining, but it is sleeved, yeah. And then the ARGB cable is 50.5 centimeters, daisy chainable and sleeved. PWM and standard ARGB connectors, fluid dynamic bearings, 12 volts, 1.92 watts, 0.16 amps. And then they actually provide the LED information, which I think is great because people in countries where energy is really expensive really need to know how much their fan is wasting on lights. And when I say wasting, I mean literally. There's no purpose to the lights other than visuals. They don't help with performance, so they just waste your money. For those of you who have lots of money, maybe you've never been poor and you don't understand what that means, but maybe you have. All right, so no indicators of direction of rotation and flow, turns in a clockwise direction, comes with 4 fan bolts and 4 radiator bolts, and has corner cushions. If you buy the 3-pack, you do get a controller as well. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.